Hello everyone. I am so honored to be able to introduce to our public on today our new Wicomico County Public School System 2025-2026 Teacher of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is Emma Cohn Matthews, and she is a teacher here at Wicomico High School. And I want to begin by asking her a little bit about yesterday. How was that evening for you?
Emma Cohn Matthews.
It was a huge surprise. I went in with, tried to not have expectations. You know, you hope for the best, but try to, not expect either way. And as you could probably see in the video, I'm thoroughly surprised. Grateful, but thoroughly surprised. It's such an honor to be able to be in this position.
Wonderful. And then you arrived to school this morning.
Yes.
As you normally would.
Not quite.
Not quite. Okay.
No.
Tell me what was a little different about this morning.
Well, I had the luxury of being able to come in at 9:15, which is very nice. My mornings are usually pretty early, but I was also driven in a 1940, I forget the exact year, Buick. So I felt a little bit like a celebrity, which was very nice. And then greeted by a very large and vocal group of students and staff, and just felt very, very special.
So can you share with our viewers the subjects that you teach?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I currently teach English 10 and 11. I teach primarily sheltered or supported multilingual students. I've taught honors English 10 in the past, but right now just the sheltered and supported classes.
Okay. And you're also a part of a tremendous amount of clubs and organizations, mm-hmm. and even some outside our school system. Mm-hmm. So can you share a little bit about that for us?
Yeah, I am the co-advisor for our GSA at Y-High. I am the co-chair for PBIS, the English and Language Arts Department chair. I also adjunct at SU. I teach the Methods 1 for the secondary English cohort. And with that, I'm also working on my doctorate and my national boards.
That's amazing. We were able to see the reception from some of your students, and I had the privilege of speaking with some of them. They love you. So can you tell us what it is about your teaching philosophy that makes them love you to that extent?
Well, I'm a firm believer in a student-centered classroom. From day one, I do my best to try to get to know the students, to make an environment that hopefully feels welcoming and safe so that students can be themselves. And of course, content is important, but I try to take a lot of time to support the whole student, get to know each of them before getting into content. So that way, when we do get into the content and the skills that we need to teach for the subject, I'm able to adapt and do what I can to support each student individually.
And they actually feel that from you, and it's obvious. So what type of student were you, and what brought you to this place? What brought you to Y-High and even the Eastern Shore?
It's funny you asked that. I was, I think, an average student. I struggled quite a bit with staying focused and being interested in subjects at times. I always loved English, but I did struggle in other subjects when I was in school. And it wasn't until I went to college that I really fell in love with school, where I was in an environment where I got to learn in different ways that worked a bit better for me. I grew up in Connecticut, middle of nowhere, very small little town, so this felt like a city to me when I first moved here. And I went through the SU secondary education program, and I interned at Y-High. And regardless of whatever plans I originally might have had, I fell in love with Y-High and have not left and have no intention of leaving.
Excellent. And we're glad to have you. So
glad
don't
to be
leave.
Here. Yeah.
No one is successful on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you attribute your success to? Who is your support system?
I am very, very grateful to have a very strong support system through my family and my husband and my closest friends who I've known for about 20 years. And they have been pushing me and supporting me and really reminding me that although sometimes I'm my biggest critic, they are my biggest advocates and push me to keep going and support some of my outlandish, feeling outlandish dreams, you know. But they just continue to support me through it, regardless of the 4:30 a.m. wake-up calls and, you know.
That's extreme. So you're burning the candle at both ends.
Yeah.
We want to know, how do you relax? What are your hobbies?
I am an avid reader. It has taken a long time to really love reading the way that I do. When I was much younger, as I said before, I struggled a little bit in school, and reading wasn't something I was always super interested in because I did struggle with it. And through school, I've really fell in love with reading again. And I read a lot for my programs, but I also try to read a lot of graphic novels and other types of books that can really help almost escape a little bit and enjoy other worlds and scenarios.
And as a struggling reader, what changed or what clicked for you?
I mean, I had a couple teachers who were helped build my own teaching philosophy that were very individual and student-centered. And we had opportunities. I remember one class in particular, we got to choose a list of books, and I chose 1,000 Splendid Suns. And it was the first book that I had read cover to cover in 2 days. I'd never done that before. And it was the first book that I really just fell in love with. And it brought me into books and reading, and helped me see another side of students too, of what they might need and what might help some of our more apathetic readers too.
Are there any mentor teachers that you can think of that helped you along the way?
Absolutely. The first person that comes to mind is Dr. Erin Studelberg. She is the advisor at SU for the secondary English program. And from the start of the program with her, I immediately felt seen and encouraged and gained confidence in my craft. And without her, I'm sure I would have figured things out, but she really, really helped shape the person that I am today and the teacher I am today.
It's also my understanding that you started teaching right before COVID.
Yes.
That can be a discouraging time. Can you talk to us about that journey for you and that experience?
Yeah, every year of teaching has been a little bit different, as I'm sure most people have, but with my first year being sort of normal, I suppose, and then the schools shut down, and then we're virtual, and each year has had its own set of challenges. But with that, I've also made a point to find different ways to sort of balance those challenges, whether it's finding a new avenue or starting a new program or taking up a new leadership position, some way to find the positive in some of the challenges that we're facing. So I can still feel like I'm doing what I can to continue to grow despite the challenges.
Right, excellent. So you now have the unique opportunity to be able to address our parents, the business community, and also teachers. What message would you like to share on behalf of our school system?
The importance of supporting the whole student. We have students everywhere who have a lot happening outside of just school. They aren't just students, you know, they're also people. And it's very important to do what we can to support them as people and whole students rather than just English or just math or just PE, whatever the subject might be, and whatever we can to help them feel supported can help them become more successful adults when they leave us.
Absolutely. You do so much for so many. We're so grateful to have you in our county. So on behalf of Wicomico County, thank you so much for everything that you're doing for our students, for the community. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.